Do you think she was just being selfish, or what do you think?
Yeah, it almost feels like she's got a bit of interest in him. As where do you go from there?
She shouldn't have done it.
And that's why I don't like her.
Right.
Welcome to Holiday Film Countdown. I'm Jamie Walter, and today we are going to London.
That's right. This film is Love Actually, our 13th ranked holiday film. Hello, I'm Tim Walter. If you're a sucker for a good love story, you've come to the right place. And if you're not a sucker for a good love story, then we have something for you too.
Our first guest is Christy Connelly. Hello, Christy. Please let us know what you're drinking and give us a quick thought on Love Actually.
I was drinking a Paper Airplane, and Love Actually is one of my favorite holiday movies. I try to watch it every year, so I love this one.
All right.
All right, and our other guest is Mindy Granberry. Hi, Mindy. What are you drinking, and what's your initial thought on this film?
Hi, I am drinking, I think it's called a Paper Plane,
Oh, okay.
which has a little bourbon in it and some other fun ingredients. And a friend just introduced it to me, and it's my favorite.
All right.
This movie, I feel like I've watched it every year since maybe it came out and we were able to stream. But it's been fun to watch it with different eyes, knowing that we were going to talk about it and kind of critically thinking about it as watching it. So I'm excited that this was the movie you chose.
All right. Well, we're glad we chose it for you. And there's a lot to talk about here.
Yes, and I am also drinking a Paper Plane, thanks to Mindy, and it is very yummy. It goes down super easy, and my first time ever drinking it, so thank you for introducing it to me.
Sure.
And my quick thought on Love Actually is it took me a while to come around to this movie. I know that might sound weird because I know it's so many people's favorite, but I'll get more into it later. Actually, seeing it more times, I'm more into it than I was my first few times.
Great. And I'm doing Paper Plane also, first time. Very good. We used still Austin bourbon. Very delicious. And Love Actually is our number 13 ranked film because 13 does not have to be unlucky. And this film covers the full spectrum of lucky in love.
I just want to say that 13 is my lucky number, just so you know. And Love Actually was released in 2003. It was written and directed by Richard Curtis. He also wrote Four Weddings and a Funeral, Notting Hill, and Bridget Jones' Diary.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So this Englishman, Richard Curtis, has 3 stone cold locks for our upcoming rom-com countdown. And he has also written a lot for Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. Just side note there. Primary filming was at Shepperton and Westway Studios in London, with numerous outdoor scenes in and around London. Love Actually features an A-list British ensemble cast, and it's so many names that I'm just going to give a few of them.
Yeah.
Here we go. Alan, Colin, Emma, Hugh, Kira, Liam, all in alphabetical order. And we will discuss these actors and characters in depth later on.
All right, Christy, well, you already said that you like watching this movie every year, so we kind of know your history. Does this movie remind you of any other movie that you've seen?
Not the storyline, but the way that so many different stories intertwine. I don't know. When I was thinking about how complex it is, I was thinking of The Usual Suspect. And I was also thinking of, is it called Sliding Doors? Or where the different
Yes.
stories, just the
Yeah.
complexity of it and how things come together.
Flipping back and forth between two,
Yeah,
in the case of Sliding Doors,
yeah.
two
Isn't there a Valentine movie related around Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day. Yeah,
Is that the name of it? Okay.
it's similar.
It's similar, right? They all kind of are intertwined.
If you all don't know that movie, you should see it.
Okay, yeah. I don't
Both
think
of
I've
you would
seen
love it.
Okay.
It's an American version of this
Okay.
with the same type of ensemble A-list group.
Okay, yeah.
All right, and Mindy, what's your history with Love Actually?
I don't remember the first time I saw it. I don't know if I saw it in a movie theater when it first came out. I really don't recall. But at some point I latched on and kind of started watching it. It comes up over the holiday seasons, right? On all the streaming
Right.
options. So as far as is it similar to other movies, I think the way I think of it actually is it almost falls in line with this sort of annual I always watch The Sound of Music every Christmas or every, once a year. I like to watch Charlie Brown's Christmas, so in a weird way, it kind of like falls into this sort of something to get excited about. And you know the story, but every time you see it, you experience something new,
Yeah. There's so
True.
much
which
to
it just shows the complexity, I guess, of it and the characters.
So it reminds you of the season.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with Mindy. Every time I see it, I feel like I see something different, or I even look at it a little differently.
Yes.
I haven't seen it all that many times, I have to be honest. I feel like I saw parts of it. I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing before, but then watching it for this countdown again, okay, I really got it in my head and I saw the whole story come together. And then watching again today, I even felt differently about it than I just did when we watched it for the countdown.
There's so much to it.
There's just so much to it for sure.
My experience is similar to Jamie's. I didn't see it initially. Christy actually told me about it years ago, and I watched it and also made note to bring her on this episode based upon that recommendation.
Thank you.
And this is probably my third and a half time to see it. So
All right, well, let's check out the trailer.
Merry Christmas.
The holiday season. It's the perfect time of year to find the one you love.
Christmas is time to do something about it.
Like what?
And tell them exactly how you feel.
You've got nothing to lose, and you'll always regret it if you don't.
Don't let the holidays go by without love, actually. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
All right, what do we think of the trailer?
I thought the trailer was good. I thought it captured a lot of the different things coming in, snippets of all the different scenes. It definitely would make me want to watch it.
It definitely would make me want to watch it, and it looked happy and fun. I think it didn't capture some of the complexities of the movie that
Right.
you learn about when you actually watch the movie and some of the complexities of the relationships, but maybe that wouldn't sell the movie, right?
So I felt it was more comedic than dramatic than the film.
Yeah.
Although the film was funny, but the trailer was pretty much all funny. Did we see anything that was in the trailer that wasn't in the film?
I think when Mark was doing the cards for Juliet, the word fatso was not one of the cards.
Yeah.
That was not in the movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of fatso in the movie, but not in that scene.
Right, which
Yeah.
is an interesting thing. Yes, there was a lot of theme around calling people fat.
Right, absolutely.
And I noticed a couple of songs in the trailer that were not in the movie, like This Will Be an Everlasting Love
Yeah.
and a Jackson 5 song that was not in the movie because I was noting the soundtrack as we watched. Well, they're trying to sell a movie.
Yeah. So I guess that's how it works. So they make the trailer before they're actually finished editing the movie so they can start promoting it.
Or they just realize this will get people to watch it. It doesn't have to totally match the final edit.
Yeah.
Probably nobody remembers it unless we're doing a podcast
Right. Right.
and analyzing
Weirdos
it.
like us, 20-something years later, calling them out. All right. This is a long film. Let's go inside the numbers. As Jamie mentioned, Love Actually was released in 2003. Also released in 2003 was Bad Santa, our 24th ranked holiday film, and another 2003 holiday film yet to come in our countdown. Hint, if you're any sort of ninny muggin, then you'll probably love the movie. This film cost $45 million to make and grossed around $60 million at the US box office and $185 million internationally for a worldwide box office total of around $250 million. As I just said, international sales tripled US sales. And we have one other film with higher international than US box office sales, and the only hint is that one hasn't been covered yet and it's coming up. Here are some more numbers. 10, which is the number of love relationship storylines in this film, 9 romantic and 1 platonic. That was Billy and Joe. We have 23, which is how many times the word actually is said in the film, 22 by the characters, plus another one by the narrator at the opening scene. The number 68, which is how many times the word love is spoken in the film. And our final number, which is actually infinity, or at least too many to count, which is the number of times that Hugh Grant blinks in this film. Love actually has a score of 4.0 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and we will all give our own reviews and scores later on. Anything surprise you here about these facts?
Did you actually count Hugh Grant's blinks, or is that?
It's not countable.
I didn't even think about it until you said that.
You'll notice now when you watch it.
He's a big
Right.
blinker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that part of his acting?
Stammer stick.
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of got that.
Yeah, it's not just this movie. He typically has that, I feel like.
Yeah.
Fast blink.
I think it's a lot of money, especially for 2003,
To make or to sell?
that they made
Yeah.
on this film.
They did great.
They made a lot of money.
I think the 45 million is in line. Lots of star power.
Oh, sure.
Lots of on location taping all around London.
Yeah.
Shutting things down. I know that costs a lot.
I don't know what a typical net profit is. I mean, is their profit?
I mean, they got 5 times their money here.
Yeah.
So,
When they say 45 million to make, does that include salaries and?
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole budget. I don't always know if that includes marketing. But still, to come out at 250 total,
Yeah, that's good.
really, really good. I'm sure they were thrilled with that.
And it is interesting that international gross, did you say more than in the States?
Yeah, 186 international, 60 US.
So 3 times as much.
So it was probably European.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. Well, let's move on to see how this movie gets us into the holiday spirit. Okay, before we talk about the carolers, let's talk about the trees.
Let's do trees.
Let's do trees. There was one at the very beginning.
It was in the city, like outside,
It was
right?
outside. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was inside. Okay, no, it was like outside, like a town square type of
Yeah.
thing. And it was huge.
It was big. Yep.
like you would see here in New York.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Any others?
There was a tree in the house,
Yes.
in the White House.
Yes.
Well, the Prime
pretty
Minister's
Prime
house.
Minister.
The Prime Minister's house. That's right. Wrong country.
Which I-
Blasphemy. They don't want to hear that.
That's right.
That's right.
And it was a beautiful tree. I
It
really
was.
liked
It was kind of imperfect though, which I loved. Like the
Right.
branches.
Well, it looked
wa-
real, right?
It
was a
did.
real
It
tree.
looked real. Yeah.
Decorated very tastefully in a beautiful room,
Yeah.
which we would expect.
Were there any trees when the Prime Minister was knocking door to door? Were there any trees in those houses? I don't remember seeing any.
They were getting narrow hallways at the
Yeah, it's
entrances.
just doorways.
I did see someone carrying a tree with just a green tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about carolers?
What do we think?
Well, besides the Prime Minister and his security guard.
That was one.
Right. But I knew I was going to do this with the names, but it was Mark.
The fake caroler.
Mark, the fake caroler, who
Okay.
said, "Say there's carolers," and he's doing the
right.
card.
That's right.
We've
That's
never
right.
had that before. We've had
No.
carolers before where people ignore them and hide from them, but we've never had people pretending to be a caroler.
In a way, yes. Or pretending to have carolers, yeah.
Well, it was funny how Peter yelled back and said, "Tell them we don't want to hear it. Like, get rid of them." I was
Right.
just like, "Oh my gosh!"
I kept thinking that he was going to appear behind her and see what his friend was doing.
Well, and I was thinking, is Mark close enough with him to know that if carolers showed up, that would be his reaction, and that's why he came prepared to
Oh, there
tell
you go.
her, you know, because they're best friends, to tell her that.
You're on it right there.
Yeah.
He knew that would be his reaction.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you know, in I think it's a cassette that he's playing. It's one person, right? It's not even like it's a group of carolers, isn't it?
Right.
The
Yeah.
music in the background. I'm like, really? That sounds like carolers.
Right. No,
It
it's
is
true.
interesting where your head goes because I kept thinking, well, what would have happened if his friend had showed up and he saw his best friend doing this? You know,
Yeah.
it
not
doesn't
good.
fit in with the story, but it made me nervous, I guess, as he was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, hurry up, get through
Yeah,
the cards.
kind of. I was
Keep making them read faster.
It's one of
to the
those type
next card.
scenes.
Yeah.
Filmmakers always do that. They want you to be like hanging there.
edge.
Right.
What's
Yeah.
going to happen?
right.
Right. We didn't really see any mistletoe, though, did we? We talked
we
We talked
about
about
it.
mistletoe.
I would say of all the movies we've seen, this is the one that needed mistletoe the least.
Yeah.
Well, I was
any
glad there
extra.
wasn't any at the party because I did not want Mia to go stand under it.
Right.
Right.
She wanted to. Yeah. We have none of the regular stuff here.
No.
No eggnog.
Nope.
No reindeer. No snowman. No Santa.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yep.
This was a 2 hour and 15-minute movie. If we would have added any of that stuff, we wouldn't be talking yet.
So, did you notice those things on your own? Because I was so pulled into the story that I didn't even notice that there were typical Christmas things that were missing.
I mean, we look for them.
We're just trained to check those boxes
Yeah.
as we go.
Well, and I've always thought it was a little interesting that this is a Christmas movie in a sense because I mean, it's not really about Christmas. It's about love and all of the stories, but it's just set at Christmas time. And so I've kind of reflect because I watch it every year, and there have been times when I've thought of this movie as really sad because I kind of hang on to some of the pieces of it that are really sad. And I think like I've felt awkward even telling people I watch this movie every Christmas because it's not like watching Elf, which I also watch every Christmas. It's a really different feeling
Yeah.
of a movie, you know?
Well, we won't tell anyone.
Everybody knows.
All right, let's get into the characters and actors. And this is where Mindy said we really have a lot of unpacking to do. Big time. I can't cover them all. We actually have diagrams with us. There are about 30 characters in this film. So let's start. I'm going alphabetical by actor's first name. Alan Rickman plays Harry. He's Hans Gruber in Die Hard. He's also in the Harry Potter films. Die Hard is to come in our countdown. And between this role and his role in Die Hard, he's probably the most evil and hated person in our entire countdown. Next, we have Billy Bob Thornton. It's a very brief role. However, he plays the U.S. president, and he is Willie in Bad Santa, our 24th ranked holiday film. And I had to mention him because he's the second most evil and hated in our countdown. Then we have Emma Thompson playing Karen, and she co-wrote and starred in Last Christmas, which is one of our honorable mentions. So she gets a shout out here. She's also an Academy Award winner. That bears a little clout here.
Just a little.
Hugh Grant. He plays David, the Prime Minister. He's also the narrator at the beginning of the film. And he's in my listing because him here is a preview of our next world of our countdown, which will be the rom-coms. He's all over that one. So you heard it here first. Our next season will be a rom-com countdown by popular demand. And a couple of cameos. We have Rowan Atkinson, a.k.a. Mr. Bean. He plays the jewelry salesman and gift wrapper and decoy at the airport at the end. And then a cameo by the writer and director of Love Actually, who Jamie mentioned earlier, Richard Curtis. He is a trombone player in the church in the wedding scene at the beginning. And if you watch again, he's the one in the middle. All right, here we go. We'll start. Christy, who's your favorite character in this film?
For me, it was tough. It was between Billy and Natalie. I really like both of those characters. Billy, to me, he was the funniest. He was most lively. And Natalie, I just thought was very endearing.
Yeah.
And we needed Billy.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Interspersed, right? Every time it got a little too sad, there was Billy to lift us up.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good. Mindy, who's your favorite character in this film?
That's such a hard question because there were so many that I liked. I think my runner-up is Colin because he's just so eager, I guess. But probably if we want to go with more depth of character, I would say Karen. He's played by Emma Thompson. I feel like she covers a range of very real life situations and emotions, and you just feel it when she's in the middle of it all. So I think she probably would be my favorite character.
Poor Karen.
Poor Karen.
She's the nicest Karen ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, at least for me, it taps into, these very raw feelings that we all have experienced, in moments in our lives.
The composure that she had to regain and then re-enter the scene with the kids.
As a mom. Yeah, it's very stand-up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, Jamie, favorite.
All right, I'm going to have to say Daniel because I love the way he handled Sam and that whole thing going on. I feel like he was grieving, right? He had just lost his wife. And so I felt like he diverted his grieving into, I'm going to put it all into Sam and what's going on in his life. And I like how he kind of just spoke real to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, this is a situation. How can we handle it? We need to come up with a plan. And I loved it when Sam came in and he's like, I got it. And he's like, oh, thank God. I feel like as a mother sometimes, when your kids are going through stuff and you're like, and they come in and they tell you, I figured it out, or something went well that day. And you're like, oh, thank God. Because you don't have it in you, right, to get it through. And since he was grieving, he was probably like, can't totally focus on it, even though he's trying to, I feel like, divert his attention, his sorrow, into something happy with Sam. Anyways, I liked the way he handled it. I liked his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked toward the beginning when his mother had just died and they were sitting on a park bench. And Daniel's wondering, what's the situation here? Is it about losing his mom? Is it about something at school? Is he being bullied or what? And then he expresses that it's about love. And he's relieved because he knows, okay, for a 9 or 10-year-old, yeah, love matters, but it's not life and death for this kid.
Right.
It might feel like it, but it's not yet at that point. And I could just see the relief being a parent, knowing that, okay, this is something I can handle, because the other answers could have been a lot tougher for the parent. Not for the kid, but for the parent. And then I'm going to say Christy took my favorite, Natalie, but my backup was Joe, who was Billy's assistant. I loved his facial expressions because of so much of his character was from another room trying to control this rock star, and he really couldn't. But you could see that they'd been on a ride together. Even his apartment had Billy's memorabilia hanging up. And I just love the way to me, he's a British guy I want to go to a pub and hang out with.
Yeah.
And he comes across as a very good-hearted human, and he's one I'd want to hang out with. And for some reason, he had a likable look to him, even though he got picked on a little bit.
Kind of unassuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that both of you liked Natalie. Like, that didn't even register on a high level for me as like a favorite character.
To me, she was very relatable. She's just a normal person who has this job, and just how real she was. And she's trying to play this role, but she kept cursing, and she just felt very relatable.
Yeah, it's
and
very real.
real. Yeah.
I liked where she came from and her family, and just her being in that position and handling herself. Even though she was flubbing, she was actually graceful,
Yeah. Yeah.
if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
she was. All right, next round. Here we go. Christy, least favorite character.
That's another one I had a hard time. Mia and Harry just don't like them. It made me they're hard for me to like either of them. So they're kind of tied there.
Which one did you hate more?
I might have hated Mia more for really instigating so much, and she's just not a likable character for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Mindy?
Really, I would say Harry.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me see. I'm just
Let
going
me
to cut whatever.
just get into this.
Okay, go for it.
Because Mia has nothing to lose. She's not married. She's single. She's just doing whatever. But he has a lot to lose, and he's got people counting on him. He's got a wife and 2 children. So to me, I feel like it would be Harry that I would dislike more.
Yeah. It's probably because I'm a woman that I'm like, oh, that woman.
See, that's how I feel too. My least favorite character, the one I guess that I hated the most, was Mia. Being a woman, I'm like, okay, she knows better.
Right. It just feels malicious.
Harry,
But
I
so
felt
does
like
he.
He does, but
He bought her the necklace.
Yeah. I know he was there. I mean, it was a hard one, but I just like seeing her disgust.
You could at least, I feel like you could see him struggling with morality a little bit, where he was like, oh.
Because he's the only one that has something to lose.
True.
She has
true.
nothing to lose.
I feel like there's a little bit of, okay, I almost got the sense that a few times he didn't quite realize what he was getting into until he did. And then he was like, oh, wait a minute. And then he was really thinking through it. Whereas she seemed very kind of intentionally kind of manipulating the situation. And so, yeah, it is a mix.
All right, we need to settle this. Here we go. Christy, assign blame by percentages between Harry and Mia.
I mean, if we're talking total of 100%.
100%, give them each a piece of that. Make it add up to 100.
60 for him and 40 for her. I mean, he is the one that's married, right? I get that. I do. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Mindy, what percentage are you going?
Ooh, I think I'll say 50-50.
Ooh,
I mean, I really can't give it a percentage, but I'm looking more with Mindy. I think I'm feeling more, it's both of their fault. I get it. I just feel like he should have shut it down right away and been like, I'm married.
Yeah.
This needs to stop, right? After all, he's the boss. He's the one who's married. So he could have shut it down, but he didn't. Instead, he played around with it.
Okay.
I wonder how much is the, sort of a cultural, historical,
You're talking about the era and the fact that it's
Yeah.
British?
the era, maybe not so much British, but just, you think maybe 30, 40 years ago, kind of what was culturally more prevalent, maybe, or acceptable. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm having thoughts that I probably don't want to articulate on.
Yeah. And
But-
so what I'm going to do is take another answer in that the writer did such a good job of splitting our thoughts,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Nuanced.
creating this discussion because it was both. And it's hard to really give one or the other more. All right. Jamie, what's your least favorite character here?
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't like Harry or Mia either, but I'm going to say Carl. Even though I know he's good looking and everything, but it's like, okay, everyone in the office knows that Sarah is in love, infatuated with Carl. Harry even says that to her. We all know, right? At night, the whole office is dark. No one is left there but them two. And she's purposely just staying there so that he'll walk by her desk as he leaves. And she's hoping. She puts on lipstick. She tries to freshen up, looks good. And he just walks right by her. Good night. Like, okay, even Harry said, Carl even knows that you love him. Well, why wouldn't Carl just say something to her? Why did he take so long? I get it. Okay, he's shy, whatever. But if everyone in the office knows and he knows too, then why are you dragging this on for this poor woman who's just sitting there working late every night, crossing her fingers, hoping that he's going to say, hey, you want to go get a drink or, talk to her. So that bothered me about him, that he wouldn't just every night until it was the party, right? Then that's when they ended up together. And then after the party and all that happened, then he did that again to her. And I'm like, why? He obviously was attracted to her.
I don't know. We discussed human resources during this film and the lack of enforcement. Maybe he's the one who sat by the human resources director. That's all I can think.
Well, and it's interesting, though, also the assumption that it's his responsibility to do something about it, because she also never said anything about it. She just waited, right? And it could have gone either way.
In my head, I would never, and maybe I'm just because I'm old fashioned, but I would never approach. I would want to be approached.
Yeah.
I would want him
And I
to
think
at
that
least
probably is the
do
norm.
a little flirting, do something to let me know you're interested too, instead of just walking by and saying goodnight like you're telling any other coworker goodbye,
Right.
At least show a little something.
Well, I wonder how interested was he in her.
So he just
really?
wanted to, it was the Christmas party.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
just
maybe it was
wanted-
like, well, let's see.
This
But,
is easy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he wasn't as into her as she was into him. And that's why he never said anything. But then the party was kind of an opportune moment. And then once he saw how complicated her life
was.
is, he was like,
never mind.
yeah.
And
So
See,
fun.
that's why I don't like him.
but the lesson for her would be, maybe I'm speaking from personal experience, but like, learn to see, like if he was willing to stick around because she had a difficult brother, like a good guy would have been like, hey, no problem. Wow, I admire you for being available for your brother. And said he's sort of like, I guess maybe selfish. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Not
selected
interested.
out.
You're too complicated. Yeah. Your life's too complicated.
Okay, you all pretty much covered mine. I have a backup choice, and this one started out fine, but didn't finish well. Her name is Juliet. She married Peter at the beginning, and I like the fact that she wanted to at least have a decent relationship with her new husband's best friend, but her kissing him on the lips, no go.
Yeah.
Just messing with that man's mind. You're a newlywed. You've chosen Peter. Poor Mark put his heart out there. He was pretty much trying to create some closure, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then she opened it back up. And like we said as we were watching, it could have been a hug, it could have been a kiss on the cheek or the forehead, but not a kiss on the lips.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Juliet.
I think I get that. I do. But I also feel like if he had done all of that, but if he had taken out the I'm going to love you until the end of time, kind of like, not that she should have kissed him, but it's just awkward, right? I mean, what is she supposed to do with that information?
Just feel flattered, I think.
Yeah, I think just feel flattered, and it's, yeah, kind of closure for him to get it out there. But I agree that she made it pretty hard for him to close that and move on, having gotten it out there, because now I'm sure.
So what do you
What did
think
that
her
mean?
motives were with that? Do you think she was just being selfish? Like, oh, this feels good. I like this attention. Or what do you think?
Yeah, it almost feels like she's got a bit of interest in him as well, but, where do you go from there?
And that's why.
She
I don't
shouldn't have
like
done
her.
it.
Right.
Yeah, she has to know that, yeah, he said he'll love her forever. However, she's old enough to know that she's probably felt that way before and moved on, and that he would too.
Right. Right.
Makes sense.
All right, are there any characters we'd like to discuss in general? There are so many here.
Ooh.
Anything we haven't covered on characters? We're about to move to scenes and we can cover them there.
I loved Billy Bob Thornton's character as the U.S. president. Very well played. That he was a good choice for that
Extremely.
character. Yeah.
I mean, there's this whole
Swarmy.
presentation of the British cultural norms and the American. So, like, do you feel like he kind of represented
He
the
captured
sort
it
of
well.
like slimy American
the power
politician?
play, and and then him hitting on Natalie, and all of it. I just thought it was very well done. Yeah.
I really made note of Sarah and her struggle with a brother with mental illness and just the complexities of that and how deeply mental health impacts a family and personal relationships and what you can and can't do with your life.
The
and,
ripple effects.
Yeah. And, really, if you think about, and this was in 2003, I feel like it's a thing now.
They were a little ahead of their time.
Yeah, I kind of think so. They were really kind of putting it out there and the reality of what that might be like.
And the lifelong responsibility of
Right,
it.
and the choices you have to make and,
Yeah.
and things you have to give up, maybe.
Well, I think that Hugh Grant, David was his character name, played that role very well. I know why he's going to be in our rom-coms because he's a good-looking guy. But that blinking and that nervousness to him, I wish he could just stop it. Just stop it.
So interesting. I have never noticed it. And now it's gonna
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, I think he's a nice looking man, but I'm like, that drives me nuts. Like, I couldn't deal with that.
That's part of his charm. Apparently it worked because he was rocking it in the 90s, early
yeah.
2000s.
And one more
for
plug
sure.
for Jamie Colin Firth. I mean, he just,
Thank you. I love that character.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great character.
I mean, he just seems like a likable guy.
Yeah.
And Aurelia, I loved her too. I loved her character.
Yeah.
All right, then let's move on to some scenes. So what would you say is, I don't know, most memorable, maybe favorite scene that you have that comes to your mind? What would you think, Christy?
So one of my favorite and most memorable scenes, I'll say, is when Karen receives the Joni Mitchell CD and she's expecting the jewelry, and she's got to keep it together and go be with the kids. That is one that has really stuck with me from that movie a lot. I don't know if it's my favorite scenes, but it's definitely one of my most memorable.
Right.
One of my favorites is when Jamie goes to the family restaurant for Aurelia and asks her to marry him. That one is one of my, I get goosebumps, and it's one of
So
my
sweet,
favorites. So
isn't
sweet.
it? I mean, he
Yes.
even learned the language, even though
Yes.
it didn't sound quite right, but he got his point
He got
across.
the point across. They don't speak the same language. You
know.
can just see the love, and I thought that was, and the whole family and the town
Yeah.
all there and a part of it. I love that scene.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well, Mindy, what's your favorite scene?
Oh, gosh. I think one of the poignant scenes to me is when Julia is watching the video of her wedding and she starts to realize that it's all videos of her, and she kind of starts to understand what's going on there. And, I actually admire that she said something, and instead of sort of just sliding it under the rug and taking the video and leaving, she's like, acknowledges kind of what's happening. It's a very human moment. And then Mark, his response, where he's just kind of stricken with embarrassment, I guess, or probably, I don't know, some
Yeah.
other feelings too.
Right.
So far, we've got two scenes that make you squirm in your chair.
Right.
And mine's going to be more of a comedic one. It's when Colin is at the wedding and he walks up to the chef, the lady, and basically insults her because he's like, "Boy, what do you do?" And she's like, "Cook." And he's like, "Well, too bad they didn't hire you for the wedding." And she said, "They did." And he's like, "Well, why didn't you take the job?" And she's like, "I did." And then he realizes, he totally, anyway, then he walks away and he goes and tells his friend that what's wrong with him and why he doesn't have a relationship is because he needs to go to America because the English women are the problem. And what did he say? They were too serious or something? And so he's going to go to America to find a girl after he just walked up and insulted her without, I just thought that was so funny, the way he took
The lack of self-awareness
yes,
there.
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was
His
funny.
bumbling attempts at trying to impress a woman.
And he's just insulting her.
Right.
And then he puts it in his mouth. He's like, "What?" And he puts it back on the tray. I'm like, oh. So gross.
Yeah, I'm going to say my favorite scene is when Jamie and Aurelia end up in the pond with all the
Yeah, that's one of my
the
favorites too.
manuscript draft, and the subtitles are so funny.
Yeah.
Yet it's a tender moment with that comic relief. I like that blend. And then they come back in the house and they're talking, and
I love that part too. After that, where they're having the tea, they're trying to warm up, and she's got the blanket wrapped around her. She just looks so beautiful, Aurelia. She looks so beautiful sitting there, and you can just tell that they both have these strong feelings for each other, but they're not really understanding each other. But then they kind of are because it's the universal language of love. And I love that scene too, the one right after they go into the pond.
Well, and then that's also when it's the subtitles happening,
Yes,
right? And he
yes.
says, "I'll give you a ride home. It's the favorite part of my day." And she says, in her language, "It's the saddest part of my day."
Because I have to leave you.
Yes,
Oh my gosh,
yes, it's a
that
great
was so
scene.
beautiful. I know that was wonderful. I love that. That writing was so good there.
that's the part I just pulled back from saying because it was going to be my quote.
It can still be your quote.
And you just took my other quote.
Oh, sorry. We couldn't help it. It just comes out.
All right. Do we have any least favorite scenes? All right. What's the funniest scene in the film? All right. I'm going to go ahead and say the funniest scene in the film is when Colin is in the bar in Wisconsin and the girls were all talking to him because that's just hilarious. And you're thinking, I kept waiting for them to drop back into a dream.
Right. Yes, it's just him fantasizing as he heads there, not really happening.
And I thought the writer might leave it that way, ambiguous. But then in the end, he's actually with one of them. So I'm like, okay, that was just another spot to laugh because this is a pretty serious film in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely needed that comedic relief from all the heaviness that was going on in some of the other relationships, for sure.
Right. I think pretty much every scene with Billy was
Hilarious.
hilarious, mostly because he sort of took his fame for what he'd been around long enough to be able to laugh at himself and make fun of himself. I think
I agree. I like the way he said, well, we're just seeing if we can get a hit. It wasn't anything genuine about that song. It was purely manufactured for the season. Let's see what we can spark out of this. And he's even very open with the radio guy about that
And he thinks it's terrible.
on the TV show.
Yeah, he's not sugarcoating any of it. And then the radio guy says, "Wow, that's an honest answer," after he asked him a question. He's like, "Oh, you can ask me anything you want, and I'll tell you the truth." And then he laughs about everything he says, but he's like really telling the truth,
yeah.
even when it's not funny.
Which I think if you step back, you think he's living at this level of honesty that most of us don't live, right? I think that's what
Yeah.
what appeals to us is that he's just putting himself out there and he doesn't really care what people think or how they respond.
Few people ever get there. That's
Right.
why probably Christy, that was your favorite character.
Yeah.
Just because
Very genuine.
the rest of those characters may not get to that level ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And at that, let's go to quotable lines.
Okay, I just want to say one, since we were talking about Billy, when he went back with his producer, I guess it was.
Producer, manager,
Yeah.
buddy, everything.
Right. He says, Christmas is a time to be with the people you love. And so he's like, I left all these women, just to come hang with you because Christmas is the time to be with people you love. And I thought that was so sweet.
Anyone else have any quotable lines they want to bring?
I don't know if this is quotable, if you would actually quote this, but I loved it when Daniel was saying to his son Sam, I never told your mom enough. I should have told her every day because she was perfect every day.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite lines.
I don't know if there's one specific line that stood out to me, but it jumped out to me that all of the British words that we don't use, like bullocks and brilliant and right and quite quick, those kind of jumped out at me.
Yeah.
Well, I also liked when Billy was on TV and he was writing something that wasn't really family appropriate. And they're like, we have a lot of children watching. And he goes, oh, I have some advice. Don't buy drugs. Become a pop star and then they'll be given to you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, this guy, like,
Unabashed rock star.
Right.
Stereotypical British,
right.
somewhat has been.
I liked Karen's line. Again, I don't know that I'd ever quote this, but when she was talking to her husband and she said, but you've also made a fool out of me. You made the life I lead foolish.
Ugh.
And that, very heavy and impactful to the kind of charade she feels like.
The lasting reality of the whole thing, right?
Right.
Ugh.
That here I am living this life and it's for nothing.
Tell me, if you were in my position, what would you do?
Position is that?
Imagine your husband bought a gold necklace and come Christmas gave it to somebody else. Do you wait around to find out if it's just a necklace? Would you stay, knowing life would always be a little bit worse? Or would you cut and run?
God. I'm so in the wrong. A classic fool.
Yes, but you've also made a fool out of me. You've made the life I lead foolish too.
Well, and that's another line that she said was, be careful there.
Yes.
Like that just, it
that
was
was a good
so
one.
powerful.
Yep.
And she said what she needed to say, and they both knew what she was talking about, and that's all she had to say.
Oh, yeah. And I wanted to mention this too during the trailer. In the trailer, she says, isn't your assistant pretty? But in the movie, she said, isn't Mia pretty?
Oh, good
Or
catch.
Mia's pretty, isn't she? Or something like that. In the trailer, they changed that.
They changed it a little bit.
Very observant.
Not any single quote, but the porn stand-ins, I liked all their lines, how they're just going through the motions and having these normal conversations like you would with any other coworker.
Yeah.
That was very clever.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like Billy Bob Thornton's character, when he said, I'll give you anything you ask, unless it's something that I don't want to give.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that just sums up his character.
Right.
Right. Right.
So that will bring us to the moral of the story. What do you think the moral of this movie is, Christy?
I felt that it was really about, well, love is all around us, but the power of love. If you think about the different characters, Mark and Juliet, that, even though Mark did not want to love Juliet, his best friend's wife, he couldn't not. And then David and Natalie. David was the prime minister, and he didn't want to love one of his employees, but he couldn't not. And he even sent her away, redistributed her, quote unquote, so that he could not feel that around her. Sam, when he talked about the agony of love, and he
I
was
wrote
this
that down.
young kid, but still felt that I can't not love this person who feels out of reach for me. And then again, Jamie and Aurelia, even without speaking the same language, the love was so powerful. So for me, it was about the power of love.
I agree. And good points. Every love relationship was a little different.
Yeah.
Some was unrequited, some was infatuation, some was mutual,
Yep.
complicated, everything. The writer did a great job.
What do you think, Mindy?
I saw a lot of sort of humans taking risks for love, doing
Yeah.
things outside of their comfort zone where they had to really put themselves in uncomfortable situations. And then I also saw this stages of life all the different stages of life were different loves at different stages. There were these kids, and then there was sort of like the early hormonal Colin who wasn't really love, but it was, it was seeking something, and then you get into the people just getting married and that love, and then you get the people who've been married for a long time and just challenging, more difficult situations that come up. So I thought that was, and then just the interconnectedness. And the whole movie connected all of them together in so many different ways. They all randomly were at the airport or showed up at the children's play, or, or the Billy's music was on when they were at the airport, So just in some ways, almost like 6 degrees of separation, right? Where we're all connected, even if you don't know the person, that this idea that you don't know who you're going to impact or who's going to impact your life day to day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all covered it very well. All right. Hot takes. Does anyone have any hot takes here?
The thing that I noticed was that for being the prime minister, there wasn't a whole lot of security around David, which seemed a bit off.
That was mine too. He goes knocking door to door, a bunch of row houses in the middle of the night, and he has one guy and maybe a driver with him. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
At any point since 1901 that would happen.
I don't know if this is a hot take per se, but I really noticed sort of like underlying theme. I'm assuming that the director, writer, that were British. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So this underlying theme of the relationship between Britain and the United States. There were just these, it would circle back in lots of different ways. So there was Billy Bob Thornton, who was sort of this kind of,
Brash.
whether you want to say typical or whatever, American politician who felt like he could do
All
whatever he
powerful,
wanted
yeah.
because he comes from this powerful country. And then, there's Colin, who can't wait to get to America because they're going to love his accent and all the beautiful, these sort of, I guess, stereotypes that both countries have of each other. I mean, and even watching the movie, I noticed just we have the stereotype that there's this politeness in England that sometimes seems not necessary, or, and so there were moments like that. I just kind of noticed this underlying theme with the two countries.
Yeah, and mine is along your lines in that it's a British film with a British director, British cast for the most part, but they felt the need to inject American issues or American things into the story. And I think part of that is you've got to sell tickets to the movie.
Right.
So that's a big audience. You got to give them a little attention. So give the Americans a little touchstone here where we can relate to the film as opposed to an entirely British film that might turn off some of the audience.
Some of the characters were American.
Yeah.
Right. But I think I also think there was some truth to the stereotypes. Like,
Oh, definitely.
right?
And they're fun.
I remember when I was in my 20s and you meet somebody from England or Australia and you're just
What a cute accent.
right. You think their
Suddenly
accent
they're
makes
interesting.
suddenly they're much more attractive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know if it goes the other way. The British find the American accent
probably not.
attractive at all. No,
I don't think so.
it's probably real. I would think it's very plain to them. I don't know, though. Or kind of boring. But that's just my perspective. Probably there is an accent.
Or maybe, you kind of impose your stereotypes on an accent, so maybe it comes with some baggage,
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was also interesting, all of the fat comments that you wouldn't necessarily put in a movie today. I
Oh,
don't
no.
think,
You would not.
Well,
I
that's
think,
where
yeah.
I went. Is that something that is more acceptable in Britain?
I don't know if it is now. That's a good point. I'm not sure.
Or
So it
maybe
could be
was-
the location and the time.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah. And making fun of Aurelia's sister a lot.
Right.
And then even in the trailer, the fatso in the which why, when you're talking about Juliet. I don't know. There was a lot of fat comments. Oh, and then
Natalie, too.
Natalie,
Her
yeah.
boyfriend broke up with her.
And then her
because-
dad called her chubby or
Yeah.
something. There was just a lot of fat
Yeah.
commentary.
All right, well, let's move on to the parent guide. It is rated R. Do we feel like that's appropriate?
Yes.
Yeah.
The porn scenes, put it there.
Yeah, in every way it's rated R.
Yeah.
The language,
Yeah, that's true.
the content,
Yeah.
The breast.
it's a pretty
Adult. Yeah.
clear R.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go from there. just R. And this is our 5th R film, by the way, in our countdown. And we have 1 R film remaining. And some misguided souls have said that that may not be a Christmas movie, which is preposterous.
What?
It is kind of an interesting juxtaposition to have a Christmas movie that's rated R. All right.
Yeah, I mean, out of 50, we have 6. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the soundtrack. I'm going to move through them rather quickly. We have a lot of music in this film. The most prominent song is Christmas All Around, sung by actor Bill Nye, which is the manufactured hit song that we hear throughout in the opening scene and pretty much to the end. We have All You Need Is Love by the Beatles at the wedding at the beginning. Also Bye Bye Baby by the Bay City Rollers at the funeral. Here With You by Dido when Juliet sees the wedding video that Mark has. We have White Christmas sung by Otis Redding, and that plays on for quite a while. It actually flows from scene to scene. We have Silent Night during Mark's poster board sign flurry. We had Jump for My Love by the Pointer Sisters in the Prime Minister's residence when he's going up and down the stairs and dancing around. It comes back, actually. So that one's in a couple of scenes. We have All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. Multiple versions of that song, most notably at the Christmas concert at the end. And God Only Knows by the Beach Boys at the end in the airport. And that one plays for quite a while as well. Any songs strike a chord with you all? I feel like they all fit the scenes well.
All the songs are great. I really loved that scene when David, the Prime Minister, was dancing to Jump. That one was kind of one of my memorable scenes. Well, that feeling of like, I got this.
I love when they're kind of like doing his video. Like he's worked on that song for so long and then he's doing the video. And we all agreed that it looked just like kind of like a take on the Robert Palmer Addicted to Love
Yes,
video.
totally.
A lot of similarities there.
And it was inspiring to Sam.
Right.
That's true.
Well, then there was a Joni Mitchell song that
Oh,
was being sung when Karen was in the other room, I think, kind of trying to process her feelings about everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of a poignant song.
All right. Are we ready to rate? Okay. Christy, what will you rate this film 1 to 5? And remember, it's a 4.0 on Letterboxd, and decimals are totally allowed.
Given that it's one of my favorite movies that I watch every year. I mean, I'm on a like 4.9 or 5. I love this movie.
Okay.
I think it's really well done.
and Mindy, where are you going with this one?
I think I would give it a 4.5. So only because there are a few scenes that maybe feel a little cheesy where I'm like, I shouldn't be enjoying this, but I do. That it's so predictable and it's so cliche. And so that's like intellectually, I'm like, oh, I knew that was going to happen or, but at the same time, I totally fall for it and all on board. And I love seeing it every year again. And you don't care because it makes you feel good. And just the complexity of really, I feel like they do such a good job of tapping into all these different human emotions and kind of moral dilemmas and situations that, and it comes across as being this sort of fun holiday movie. There's just a lot of complexity to it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 4.2. It's very well written. I mean, it's so clever how they all intertwine together and how the story comes together. And I love seeing that at the end when it plays out, even just at the school when the kids are doing their musical and you see all of them there and you're like, how it comes together. There are some scenes that I felt like could have been left out and maybe it would have been a little better. It's just my personal opinion as to why I didn't go higher.
Okay. I've got it at a 4.4. It's fun to watch. It's well put together. And it brings you through the range of emotions, as Mindy mentioned. And it's one that I want to watch again. Maybe not right away, but I want to see it again. So 4.4.
Christy, would you recommend this film? And if so, to whom would you recommend it?
I would recommend it, and I have recommended it. Adults, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
18 or older.
Exactly. And really, any adult, I think, because it covers all of the ages and all of the parts of life. And, single and married for years and with kids and without kids. So I would recommend it, to anyone over 18.
All right.
And Mindy, I know you would recommend it. To whom would you recommend it?
I think I would recommend it to friends who haven't seen it, but I think I'd also recommend it to my nieces who are in their 20s. I think they would enjoy it, and it might be one of those movies that crosses generations a little bit. Yeah, I think they would enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. I think, again, it could be for someone in their 20s, someone in their 60s. I mean, it's just such a wide range. Really, anyone who's an adult could handle this, whether they're a young adult, a middle-aged adult, or older adult would like this film. And it's something different. It's not the typical Christmas movie. I mean, you definitely don't want to sit down and watch it with the little kids and the whole family. And I wouldn't even want to watch it with, my parents, but maybe with friends or people around the same age as me. That way I don't feel a little too weird about it.
It's funny you say that. I think I actually watch it alone most years. It's one
Yeah.
of those, I've got the fire in the fireplace and the kids gone in. It's between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm going to watch Love Actually.
Right.
Yeah, I would certainly recommend it. And although I would recommend it, I wouldn't necessarily watch it with the same people I recommend it to.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I would also say that I like the visit to London. So if it's someone who loves England and wants to get away, I feel like you get a little bit of a getaway here because all those great outdoor scenes.
And France, southern France,
Some France too.
a little bit of France.
All right, Christy, what is your favorite holiday film?
Well,
Tough one.
that's a tough one.
Is it this one? I mean, you
This
kind of
is-
said that.
This is one of my favorite. This one and Elf. Those are the
Okay.
two that I watch every year without fail, really. Elf and Love Actually. They're very different.
They are.
So you're stranded on an island and you have to throw one in the ocean. Which one are you keeping on the shore?
Probably keep an Elf because the comedic element of it, and it's lighter. This one I think it's a little heavy to watch over and over again.
Right.
Where Elf I never tire of.
All right, and Mindy, what is your favorite holiday film?
Okay. This one's really high up there, but the one that I watch every year is It's a Wonderful Life, is one that our family watches every year. And oddly, Sound of Music. It's not a Christmas movie, but it's just one that is shown every year.
I've heard
and
this.
we
Yeah.
watch it as a family every year, and I guess I equate that to a holiday movie.
It's a longer family movie, musical. And I think in a prior generation, that was really one of the go-tos because we didn't have this proliferation of holiday films.
Right.
And so they would pull
Or streaming.
The Wizard of Oz or The Sound of Music and make those into holiday films.
Right.
So you get that nostalgia.
Right.
Okay, Christy, do you have anything you would like to promote?
Yes, I'd like to promote my husband, Leon Connelly, and his services as a realtor. He can help you with buying or selling or leasing in the Austin area. You can
right.
look him up on Instagram.
Who's he
You can
with?
find him online. He's with JB Goodwin Realtors.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll put that in the show notes. And Mindy, is there anything you'd like to promote?
I would love to promote Kite Strings Pediatric Therapy. We're located in West Austin in the Lake area, mostly Lakeway, Bee Cave, Spicewood area, and we provide pediatric speech, occupational, and physical therapy. And you can find us at kitestrings.therapy.com.
Very good.
All right. And what's the age range that you work with?
Really, 0 to 21.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for joining this discussion of our 13th ranked film, Love Actually. Please like, follow, and comment on this podcast.
Yes, please share and spread the word about Holiday Film Countdown. Thank you, Christy and Mindy, for joining us. And thanks to all our listeners. Next week, we're moving on to our 12th ranked holiday film, which will take us to Whoville.